Imagine you have $50,000 saved. You're ready to move into your own place. But there's one question that could change your financial future. Should you buy a house or keep renting? At first, buying seems obvious. You make a down payment, get a mortgage, and every month, you're building equity in your own home. Renting? You're just paying someone else. But wait, what if that $50,000 could be invested instead? And what if the money you don't spend on property taxes, repairs, and maintenance keeps growing in the market? Now the math gets interesting. Because a homeowner isn't just paying a mortgage. They're paying interest, insurance, property taxes, maintenance, and sometimes thousands of dollars for things they never expected. Meanwhile, the renter could invest the difference. So after 10 years, 20 years, or even 30 years, which person actually ends up with more money? The homeowner or the renter? So let's start with the buyer. Imagine you find a $400,000 home. You have $80,000 saved, so you put 20% down. That leaves you with a $320,000 mortgage. And this is where most people stop doing the math. They look at the mortgage payment and think, that's my monthly cost. But it isn't. Your mortgage payment includes principal and interest. And then there are property taxes, homeowners insurance, maintenance, repairs, and sometimes HOA fees. Over the years, these costs can add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. But there's another side to the equation. Every mortgage payment can also build equity. So you're not simply spending money. Part of that payment is increasing your ownership of the home. And if the home rises in value, your equity can grow even faster. That's why buying a home isn't simply an expense. It's an asset. But the question is that asset actually worth more than the cost of owning it?
Now, let's look at the renter. Instead of buying that $400,000 house, you rent a similar home for, say, $2,500 a month. At first glance, renting looks like throwing money away. But that's not the whole story. The renter doesn't need an $80,000 down payment. They don't have to pay property taxes. They don't have to replace the roof. They don't have to repair the air conditioner. And they don't have to worry about losing thousands of dollars to an unexpected repair. That means the renter keeps more flexibility. But there's a catch. Rent usually doesn't stay the same forever. As housing costs rise, landlords can raise rent. And unlike a mortgage, rent doesn't create home equity. After 20 years of renting, you don't automatically own the property. So renting has a major advantage, but also a major weakness. And that brings us to the part most people completely ignore. What happens if the renter invests the money they didn't use to buy the house?
Let's say our renter takes that $80,000 down payment and invests it instead. And every month, they invest the difference between their rent and the homeowner's total costs. Now, something interesting happens. The renter isn't just paying rent. They're building an investment portfolio. If that portfolio earns an average return over many years, the money can compound. And compounding is powerful because your returns can start generating their own returns. But there's an important warning. The stock market doesn't go up every year. There can be crashes, there can be recessions, there can be years where your portfolio falls sharply. So investing isn't guaranteed. But neither is a house guaranteed to rise in value. A home's value can fall too. The real question isn't, is real estate better than stocks? Or is renting better than buying? The real question is, which strategy leaves you with more wealth after every cost is included?
Now, let's put the two strategies side by side. The homeowner starts with an $80,000 down payment. They take on a mortgage. They pay interest. They pay taxes and insurance. They maintain the property. But they also build equity and potentially benefit from appreciation. The renter keeps the $80,000 invested. They pay rent.
they may invest additional money every month, and their portfolio can compound over time. Now, imagine we compare both strategies over 10 years, then 20 years, then 30 years. The answer can change dramatically depending on just a few variables. How fast does the home appreciate? How quickly does rent increase? What interest rate does the homeowner pay? How much does maintenance cost? How much does the renter invest? And what return does the investment portfolio earn? Change just one of these numbers and the winner can change. That's why saying buying is always better or renting is always better doesn't tell the whole story. The math matters. And there's one more factor that can completely change the result.
So, after 10, 20, or 30 years, who actually wins? The surprising answer is there isn't one universal winner. Buying can make sense when you plan to stay in the home for a long time. The property appreciates, and the total cost of ownership works in your favor. You also gain something renting can't automatically provide: home equity. But renting can make more sense when you need flexibility, when buying costs are extremely high, or when you actually invest the money you save. And that's the key. If you rent but spend every dollar you save, you may end up with nothing to show for it. But if you rent, invest consistently, and allow your money to compound for decades, the result can be very different. So don't ask, should everyone buy a house? Ask, what does the math look like for me? Because the smartest financial decision isn't always the one that looks best at first. Sometimes, the real winner is simply the person who understands the numbers.